Today we want to talk about the ancient Toltek cosmovision of the Earth. We're going to explain how our ancestors knew very well where are we standing on and how this matrix holographic realm really works. So let's get started with the flat Earth realm from the Toltec perception. We have to start with the concept that we are living on a plane. It's very clear to see. We don't need to other cultures explain us or say so, because we have our own senses. The point here in the modern times is that we have been taken for granted everything. We don't question anymore. We stop to see, to observe the nature of our planet, because we are very busy working and watching videos and watching our smartphones and TVs and just having fun with the stupid things outside from our real essence. We are distracted. So the point here, the advice I'm giving you is stop to believe in the scientism concept of today and start to experience by yourself. Start to observe again nature. Go outside of your house and observe everything, and you're going to open your perception and you're going to be surprised. The things that are in front of us in plain sight, but we've forgotten because we are trusting in science, in our governments, in the educational system. So the point here is to know where we are standing on. It's very important to know how our planet really is and how it works, because otherwise we're going to be like rats inside of a maze. We are lost. We don't know where to start and where we have to go, how to move forward. So how to get away from this system. So that is very important to understand and realize where we are living in essence. So I'm going to share you how our ancestors really knew how this system works, and they left the clues and the maps, and also they explain how to interact here and how we can overcome and finish this video game called Matrix. So as you can tell here in this picture, this image, not picture, image, because picture is when you take something from the real world. This is a a CGI, like everything, like NASA or our government and our educational system is giving us all the time. They are giving us CGI all the time. And that's what we call images, because come from imagination. It's not real. But at least it's for explaining this concept that everything. I love this image because remember that we are living inside of a computer program, and every program or projection, the foundations to create a program, a video game or whatever, all the people that program that, programmers, start creating a plane. Even the architects and the people that designed the blueprints for a city or for a house, they create everything in a plane surface, in a flat surface. They never take in count the curvature of the earth because it doesn't exist. So this is very clear in this image that this video game is showing us a flat plane of inertia. And also the hologram matrix system. Well, the concept of creation that our ancestors had, they said the Anahuacas Tahuantinsuyos, people from this continent, understood as a concept of creation the interaction between two complementary opposing magnetic forces that converge to form an equilibrium field, the dielectric and magnetic, which they called ometeot. I told you before in all my videos, my previous videos, the concept of ometeot is trinity, two forces that combines and harmonize together in order to create a third force that is the synthesis from the other two. That's ometeot. And by which space and matter are subsequently manifested by the effect of the wave that derives in electricity, the tonality. So they knew very clear that everything emerged from a pulse first. Everything is sound. Sound is the foundation of everything. That is pulsing, creating a wave, a radiant wave that expands. And then we have the concept of dielectric and magnetic. That is the black and white yin yang. Black is dielectric, white is magnetic. The stillness and the movement together, and they're going to give birth their child. That is electricity. There is a kind of inefficient energy. It's a hybrid energy, electricity, that they call tonality. Tonality means light, the illusion, the hologram. And then we can see here all the concept of the magnetic fields. Everything is magnetism that provokes kind of illusion of movement. And they depicted in this dream catcher that is very famous around the planet. They are showing us the magic net, the magnetic field, the net of the spider, the invisible force that attracts everything. That's the only force that exists in this plane, no gravity. Gravity is not a force. Gravity means in Latin, weight, because everything is based in the density of the things. It is lighter than the fluid that is interacting, is going to float and is going to elevate. But if this object is heavier or more dense, it's going to go down. Very easy. But the only force that is interacting here is magnetism. And they explain that we are living waves within waves, regulated by a divine energy. The matrix, and the Mayas they called matrix also Solkin. The Mayas called Solkin, and in Nahuatl we call it Tonali, which is a cosmic fabric that develops through the fractal pulses of expansive and contraction implosion, where a greater synchronized pulse synchronizes and waves the waveform of all beings on a smaller scale, with a perfect geometric patterns and fractals. We are electromagnetic pulses that transform themselves, emanated from the reflection of the inter and multidimensional waveform of the whole. We are the whole and the part, expressing in sound, and that sound is expressed in and unfolding and manifest in fractals that we call here frequencies. So as you can tell here, waves within waves. From the macro to the micro. And this is the cosmic fabric that they call Solking. How we interact inside of this loop that we call torus field. And they express this in this beautiful stone that we call tonal mashot. Tonal mashot means the shape of the light, the mold of the light. And also is expressing the flat earth that we are living in. It's a very beautiful allegory. And also the first thing is expressing the ripple effect, like this. Everything emerges from this pulse, from the center, and then expands in other waves, then is growing, growing, growing forever. Never die. Energy never dies. With the center, that, as we can tell here, the center is expressing sound with the archetype of the tongue. The tongue is expressing sound, music, like the ripple effect. Rings, this is the Lord of the Rings also. And because Saturn is the Lord of the Rings, but in the negative way that controls the matrix. But the real one is this. The tonal mashup is expressing the map of the Earth, the magnetic field, and that is moving, and also the center of the plane that we are living in our pond. And then we can see here where our ancestors created their archetypes as symbols. Everything comes from sound, cymatics. And as within, so without, as above, so below, in the fractal concept, we can see that the ripple effect is in everywhere. The movement of the stars and the waves expressing water, air, the earth, like serpents, like snakes. Every snake represents a waveform, different waveforms. Waves within waves. The aurora borealis is also expressed like this. Everything is sound. And all the symbols that our ancestors had, they took them from the cymatics, from sound. This symbol is very important because it's expressing the vortex. Here is the eye, is the vortex, the center of the plane of inertia, with the 4 directions and emanating a frequency. And then we can see that they knew that we are inside of a torus field. The torus field is the purgatory, purgatory, the loop that generates, operates, and dissolves. Generation, operation, dissolution. God. In this movement. And our ancestors, they made an allegory of this torus field because they are very good observers of nature. They are and they were, because we are here, and also we still have the people from that culture. That's why I'm saying are. Okay, anyway, yes, never mind. They expressed the archetype of the torus field in this plant called maguey. Maguey is a plant that is related with the aloe vera. And this is a plant that in Mexico, especially, but also in some places in Arizona and a very arid place in Mexico, we can find this plant. And this is a plant that is very famous because from this plant we can get tequila, mezcal, and other things. But they took this archetype to describe this. And this symbol is taken from the top of the tonal mashup, from that disc that I just showed before. And it's expressing this. As above, so below is the same concept, and it's expressing the magnetic force, the magnetic field and the vortex, the movement. Look at this. And we have this number is 13 circles, and the 13, sorry, 13. If we sum the two numbers, we're gonna get 4. And 4 is the number of foundation. That's why we have this 4. And that 4, of course, we have to take in count the center, that is the 5th. Everything is turning around a center that is the 5th element. So that's why we have this concept of 13 that is 4, because it's the foundations of life. Also, 4 in Spanish is cuatro. Cuatro comes from cua. Cua comes from aqua. Aqua is water, agua, because water is the foundation of everything. Remember that. Everything comes and fertilized from water. This planet is water. We are water. It's the foundation of everything. So everything is related. Here is nothing is just by chance. And then we can see here the sulking that our ancestors called the galactic or the cosmic butterfly. Papalot in Nahuatl. Papalot, butterfly mariposa. This is the cosmic. That is the fabric, the sulking. Is how our ancestors organized the cycles of these metrics, because we're living inside of a big loop and also loops within loops. Everything is going to repeat all the time in spirals, energies. So the problem is the controllers of the matrix, the demiurge, changed the real vortex of scalar energy into the vortex of extraction energy vortex. Because they want to extract energy all the time from our souls, and they put us into the negative loop of the samsara cycle, reincarnation cycles, until they extract all the silicon quantum energy of our souls. That's why you have to become in a butterfly. This is an allegory. Using the cosmic butterfly of sulking of the torus field on your favor, on your own benefit, because this loop also you can use it because it's a sustainable energy. So you can be here the time that you need until you accomplish your mission to escape from this matrix, from this video game. So you can live many years using this loop, because generates, operates, and dissolves is a sustainable energy, infinity. But if you lose your way, so you're going to be in the negative loop, that you're going to die and reincarnate all the time. So the Mayans could measure all the loops that we were living in. They realized that we are repeating everything all the time. That's why they were the best astrologers, because they read the sky very well. They could register the movement of the stars for the astral realm. And they knew that the stars are producing an influence in us, a negative influence that we call astrology, because stars are emanating light and frequencies that interact with our mental body, and that frequencies are frequencies of control. They are imposing you a personality. Remember, person means mask. They're giving you a mask, a false or a fake identity, entity, an external entity of you. You are not that. So that's why our ancestors knew that they have to recognize those cycles in order to change them and escape from that influence. So that's why they left this beautiful count of those cycles. Also, we can see here the Navajo cosmovision of the plane of inertia. Again, the 4 with the 5th element in the center, organized. And remember, snakes represents waves and also cycles. And here, the limits of our planet. The center is spiritual and is where all of us we come from. But the outer rings are the material, the density, the hologram. And the exit is in the center again. We have another expression of the same. The outer ring of the tonal mashot stone is represented by 2 snakes, representing duality. And here we have the torus field with the 13, that is 4, the foundations, agua, 4. The cycles here, everything is expressing. Also here we can see the stars that I told you before. Here is the representation of the earth, Coatlicue, the cloak of snakes that brings Coatlicue. And he's telling us that we're living in cycles. The snake represents matter, matrix, madre, mother. The density, the dual way form, the sign that is positive and negative, dualism, the mind, the illusion. Because here the serpents are represent them with kind of a net. Here is not so clear, but we can see squares, and that is representing a magic net, the illusion, the matrix. but also represent the center again is spiritual, and the outer ring is material, density. And here is representing the scalar energy, the original one, that we have to harmonize the two polarities of meteor in order to create a third one, a synthesis. From duality come to unity, and then the energy we're going to neutralize. And when we are in the neutral point, the scalar energy is going to generate, is taking more energy, is earning positions of the energy. Like here in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is represented with Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl means evolution. Overcome the serpent, the density. In order to pass to the unity and to the subtle realm, again, escape from the illusion using the scalar energy, as you can tell here. And then we have the count of 13. Here's 13, again, 4. Because we are in cycles of 20 and 13. And that cycle, we can observe it here in the stone. This. We have 20 energies with 13. Because everything was taken also from our body. We have 20 fingers, 10 fingers and 10 toes. And also 13 main articulations. And when we multiply them, we're going to get 260. And 260 to 160 is the days of our time that we are passed inside of our mothers. So everything is fractal, like I told you before. So remember this, brothers and sisters, scalar energy and resonance is the key. And also be neutral. And this is the cosmovision that our ancestors had about the earth. Look at this. I took this picture from a museum in the Mayan zone here in Yucatan. And it's very clear. It's a flat earth with a tree of life that is not existing, doesn't exist anymore. Look at this with the dome. And they organize in 3 stages, like almost the other cultures around the planet. So they call the sky Topan. The middle earth that we are in, they call it Tlactipac. And the lower realm, they call it Mictlan. And then it's very clear. Look at this, the dome with the stars spinning around of an axis of energy, the vortex here, the column, the tree of life, and here again, sulking, the matrix. And I took this picture again from Tulum in Quintana Roo. Tulum is quite close to Cancun, the Mayan zone, and they have some ruins there in front of the ocean, very beautiful. And this sign is just there in plain sight, and they are telling us they are not lying because they cannot lie. This is what we call negative primacy. And the best way to hide the truth is put it in plain sight. So look at this. The Mayans considered the earth as a flat, immovable body, aware that nature provided all that was necessary for securing a residence and sustenance. They treated the jungle as a resource that was subject to practices of conservation, modification, and multiple use. But they say in the Mayans, and not just the Mayans, because I told you, our ancestors, they share the same cosmovision and the same Toltek principles, because Toltek is not a culture. The Mayans used to be called Toltecs, Anasasis, Hopis, Cherokees, Mexicas, Zapotecs. Is a spiritual grave with the same philosophy and cosmovision of the earth. So they consider the earth as flat and immovable body. Very clear. And look at this representation of that. The Mayan representation of the earth. The moon and the sun. Polaris and the four directions with the center. With the speaker here, because I told you everything works around the sound. Topan, Mictlan, and Topan, Tlatipac, and Mictlan, the three, because we have intra-terrestrial realm also. And the tree of life. And I'm going to show you later what this pyramid representing, the true meaning of this pyramid, because they are telling us that we are living in this holographic realm. Everything is a projection. With the dome, and also with the 20 energies, I told you 20 and 13. This is another representation. Aztlanteotl, we call this energy Aztlanteotl, the energy of Aztlan, or Atlanteotl for Atlantis, from they referring the water. And look at this, it's carrying a flat earth. It's not carrying a sphere. Very clear. And this is very important that I have mentioned before in other videos about the name of Mexico, where it comes from. And that name comes from two meanings. The first one, Mexico, means the place inside in the navel of the maguey. And the maguey, I told you, is the torus field, because they knew that we are living inside of this plane of inertia. The maguey represents the torus field. And the other one is the place inside of the navel of the moon, because they knew that we are living in the influence of the moon matrix system, because the moon is a repetitor of the holographic projection that is emanated from Saturn, and then the moon reflects everything. And as you can tell here, the moon is the original map of the flat Earth. Look at this, like a picture here that was taken many years ago. And also, the moon controls the mind. The influence of the moon is negative. The mind represents the moon, because the mind controls the moon controls the mind. That's why we have emptied our mind, because it's not ours. Actually, Carlos Castañeda mentioned in his books that the predator gave us its mind to make us play its game. So the mind is the illusion. Mind comes from mente, mentis in Latin. Mentis means mentira. Mentira is lie. The illusion. And this is the map of the flat Earth. This is Africa, Europe, India, China, Russia, Australia, America, and other continents that we don't know if they are still there or they were sank. We don't know, because we can explore our planet well. It's very controlled and limited. We just can travel where the system allowed us. And also we have another lens, for sure. This is bigger. And here we have the magnetic movable center, and here the immovable center of the Earth. This is another map. Look at this. The ring that is the limit, that if we cannot pass, we are not allowed to pass beyond the 60 parallel. Because it's full of militaries there. The army is there. And if you can travel by boat or plane, you're going to find a lot of problems or troubles. It's very proven. So that's why they call Mexico. Mexico is not just this part of the planet. They're referring the whole planet, because they knew where we really are. They weren't locatives. They were explaining the whole system that we are living. That's why they gave those names. And also here in North America, in Anahuac, our ancestors said, in allegory for sure, that the earth is a turtle. Because of this, it's very clear. The dome and the turtle is very slow, because the earth is not moving. That's why they represent also with elephants in India, because the elephants represent stillness and strength. Allegories. That's why people is laughing about flat Earth, because they're stupid. They think that the Earth is on a turtle and blah blah blah. But the people that uses astrology, it's the same thing, because up there is no a scorpion, there is no a lion. It's an allegory. So why people, they don't say the same thing about it? However, they use astrology and they say, okay, I'm Leo, I'm Scorpio, I'm Aries, Ram. I never have seen an animal. It's an allegory. So it's the same because of this. They're representing the dome. And also the turtle, its marks come from some patterns from sound. Some frequencies are reflecting this kind of patterns because everything comes from sound, cymatics. And this is the top of the tonal mashup that I just shown you, the center, the maguey, the torus field, the 13 symbols. But also here, we find these two triangles that is representing the tetrahedric holographic matrix made of tetrahedric pixels. And the tetrahedric is the blueprints of the matrix. Everything is made of cubes. We are inside of the cube because tetrahedric is a cube. And it's representing also this. The magnetic field, look at this, like a triangle, and the dielectric. Radiation, dielectric field, polarization creates space and discharge. All matter mass is massive, solely due to magnetism, naturally and logically. Charge, inertial, counter space, destroy space, centripetal. That's the dielectric in a magnetic. And it's the form that they're expressing that we are living inside of this plane. So pressure conjugation between oppositional fields in a binding system, such as a magnet. And this is the matrix, the hexagon. Hex means maleficio. In Spanish, maleficio. In Latin, maleficio is something evil, mal, malefic. That the hex represent. And also hex gives birth to the word hoax. And this is the flower of death, no, of life. Because this is creating energy extraction vortices, no scalar energy. And they made us believe that, oh, it's the tree of life, it's the flower of life, blah, blah. Of course, everything was modified into this, but it's not the real blueprint. This is the sublayer of the real matrix. And the sublayer is made of tetrahedric cube essence. The torus field, look at this. Multi-specials, tetrahedrical nodes. This is a matrix. And this is also the shape of the graphene and the carbon life. 666 is the number of carbon, number of the beast, the number of the density of the matter, of the illusion. And also the turtle, again, look at this, this is the skin of the turtle, is made of hexagons. That's why our ancestors made the allegory of the turtle also. Because of this, look at this is the earth. It's made of hexagons, cubes, Everything is organized in that tetrahedral matrix, because hex is the existence, is the existence is the mothership, aka double X, the Merkaba. And everything was modified to that, to create that vortex of energy extraction. And now we are living like this. This is the cube of Metatron. Metatron is the name of the Demiurge. Jabel Metatron. That Jabel Metatron is using the artificial intelligence that called Iobat. Because I and O is also 1 and 0. That is representing the binary code, the matrix. And bat is battery. So it's related with the name of Jehovah, Iobat. In Spanish we say Jehová. It's the same thing. And they say that technology used to be our technology, that these interdimensional beings came to hijack this plane, and they stole our technology, and they start to use it against us. So now this artificial intelligence is controlling the system, this machinery. And now all the system is working as a hive mind, because this is a Gregory collective hive mind. Insectoid, because it's made of insects. And we're living like insects, like bugs, and with antennas. Observe the houses of the ants made of tunnels, the termites, how they built their houses, and we are building the same buildings, tunnels. Also our cars, the beetle, the buggy, because the insectoid race has created the technology that we are using. Because you have to know that exist more races living among us. Insectoid, felinoid, like the Thundercats, reptiles, dragons, humanoids, grays. Because this plane is very, very, very big. So next to our pond, there are more lands. And also in the intraterrenal realm, in this earth, there are living another humans and more entities. Look at this. This is an experiment of a magnet, and is forming an hexagon. And this is the inner part of a tree, hexagons, the X. And also the X marks the exit and the center. Here, 4 and the center, and the chromosome. Chromos, chronos, time, colors. Also, we are made of colors, of lights. The 7 colors of the electromagnetic spectrum of light, the illusion. Because they need colors to read us, because light is transporting data. They are here saying us the same thing. The chromosome, the zone of chronos, the zone of color, with X-Men X is in Roman numerology is 10. And 10, I told you, is binary code. And men is for mente, mind. X-Men means that the humans with mind, emotions, and ruled by the binary code, the duality, the matrix, with chromosomes, with colors. That's why they introduce in our bodies chakras and other energy extraction vortexes. Because they need to put colors and phosphate in order to read us. Because when you introduce phosphorus and phosphate in a machine like a computer or a telephone on screen, it's necessary to create colors. They also use phosphorus and phosphate in fireworks to create colors. So they need to put colors because they want to read us. Because we are carrying energy and we are carrying data. Light is data. And this is the cube. I told you. Saturn here, the cube, the time, Chronos. The Titan that is devouring their children. The Yoni, I don't know, I don't remember how to in India say the penis, but it's the same thing. Look at this, the 9/11 memorial cubes, inside, outside. We're living in the side of the hex. And also more cubes because our Earth is inside of a cube. It's the dome and then 2 cubes, hypercubes. So this demiurge has created a very good prison. So the only way to get out of here is changing the frequency, because physically it's impossible because of this. But we can do it in another way, by the ascension of the frequency and return to the center, the heart. And this is the Mapuche cosmovision. The Mapuche tradition is from Chile, from South America, and Tahuantinsuyo. I told you, Tahuantinsuyo and Anahuac, we had the same cosmovision, the same calendar, the same concept, the same philosophy, everything, the same people. They explain the same thing. 3 realms, Topan, Tlaxtipac, Mictlan. The 4 elements, the 4 directions in the center, and we are inside of the plane of inertia. So basically, the Earth can fit in 3 concepts, but we have to understand them and explain them well and stop to fight, because now there is no flat, there is a sphere, blah, blah, blah. We are fighting all the time, no? Flat earthers and also the spherical earthers. So the flat actually is spherical, yeah, because of this. Look at this, because the torus field, because the dome. And also, there's another theory of the hollow earth, and it's true because this electromagnetic field of this dome is hollow. We are inside of that. And also it's flat because we're living inside of the plane of inertia. So the 3 of them are true, but we have to explain them well. It's flat, it's spherical, and it's hollow. Stop fight. Pretty easy. But otherwise, we are not on that spherical outside. It's stupid. People that they are living in this side is going to fall off. The only place that we can stand on a sphere is on the top. Otherwise, you're going to fall off. So that's why we are inside of that, because it's hollow on that plane of inertia. It's very logical. Use your logical. Please stop to believe in the stupid things that you have taught in school. It's an indoctrination. There's another representation that the Mayans made about this plane. The same thing, the dome, the plane, the flat earth, the tree of life, the underworld. Here's the same, another representation. Look at this. And this is we're living in a DVD or CD. This is the Earth with a center. And now, after the hijack of this planet, they turned the Earth into this because they brought the electricity. The demerge is representing the electricity, hybrid energy. Bal, Bell, every name that finishes with L is representing electricity. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Samael, Samuel, etc. Jabel, Emmanuel. And also they are the stars. They are the archons, the archangels, the arch, they're representing the arch, the dome. And they are reading us like a CD because I told you light is transporting data, information, just like that. So we are in different layers and they are reading us all the time. And they could transform this realm using the ionization of the planet with electricity and with the mind, of course. And we are living in an enclosed system like this. It's proven that you can create life inside of an enclosed system. Under the sea, in Italy, they are creating this kind of pots that you can go inside and there is no water because the vacuum, and they are growing plants. And also here, look at this. This guy created this environment system inside of this jar. And this jar, I think, was created 25 years ago. And it's growing, because this could be possible. Because I told you in previous videos, everything is based in this concept. Pressure, temperature, and humidity. So the dome creates pressure because it's closed. It's the same concept with a pot, an express pot. You need to close the lid very well with pressure if you want to cook your food there faster. Using pressure. That's why we have the atmosphere pressure, because of that. Otherwise, if this planet this planet were open, there weren't any kind of pressure. So that's why the dome, that's why we can say and prove the existence of a dome because of that. And then that pressure is going to create a temperature, depends the zone, of course. And that temperature is going to create humidity. The humidity creates the depressions and the cycle of the water, whatever. That's why we can create this kind of modern life. And I like this kind of meaning of the earth. So every letter of earth is educational avatar, reality training habitat. So this is more or less a representation of this plane that we are living, infinity plane, with more ponds, with more domes. And that's why you can travel to other places. No travel like this to the infinite space with starships and blah, blah, blah. No, just like this. But now we can't cross this dome. There is another portals. If you read the book of Enoch, they explain how these portals works. So basically, we don't know how really is, but at least we'll know how doesn't is. How is not. So it's a good beginning. That's why we have to become all of us in a scientific humans and go and experience ourselves and put your experience and share your research to the planet. Don't wait that others come and give you information. Okay, there are people that we are giving, but we need that more people get involved in this labor to get out of the illusion. Get out of the deceit of the lie. This is another expression. The Queen Cooks is representing this. The plane of inertia, that we are living in the horizontal plane, but we have to ascend in the vertical, returning to the center, to the heart. That's why heart is an anagram of earth. The center is the exit, your heart. And this is another representation of the map of the real flat earth that we can see in the moon. And this is the real center, because our magnetic movable field is here, that is moving here, sun and the moon. But this is the fixed, the stationary, the real one, North Pole. This is the vortex that is spinning in ages that we call Pisces, Aquarius, Sagittarius, whatever, in cycles. So the sun and moon is moving because our magnetic field is moving around this. So now, in this new age of Aquarius, the magnetic field, the poles, are going to move from Pisces to Aquarius, and the sun and the moon is going to start to spin around this part of the plane. So we think that in some years, we don't know exactly, this part of the planet is going to be frozen because the influence of the sun and the moon is not going to get that far. But instead, these unknown lands, they're going to be unfrozen, and we are going to know more lands. That's a cycle. So another representation here, the plane of inertia with the tree of life, and this we call the Chacana. In South America, we call Chacana, representing the same thing. This is the Tibet. I told you in previous video that Asia and America was the same culture. That's why we have the same concept. In India, in China, Japan, Polynesia, vortices, and how our flat Earth is. And this is another presentation of the ripple effect here in coils. Everything is a coil. That's why the snake is representing that. The magnetic coil and the torus field. Look at this, the free energy. And how our planet is working. And the swastika is another representation in our cultures. Around the planet also we have this symbol that represents movement around a center. And one of those is the Big Dipper that is marking the solstice and equinox, the movement of the minor years around Polaris. That's why another proof that we can say that the Earth is not moving, because when we see the movement of the stars in exposure of some pictures, in a long exposure of the taking pictures, we can see the movement very clear in perfect circles. This is impossible if there is moving. We couldn't see those perfect circles. And Polaris is the center. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter is expressing the different seasons. Simple, a symbol of more hidden knowledge, evidence of the flat Earth. And the swastika expressed in our culture in North America. The vortex and movement of the energy. Here's the Navajo, representation of the Earth. Again, the vortex, the four directions, the plane of inertia with the limit and expressing the ripple effect. And in the modern time, we can see this representation of that. The black sun that represents the real vortex, the toroidal electromagnetic energy from below to above, then Polaris, and then reflects sun and moon and cycles. And that's representing the physical realm here and the etheric inside, that we come from this realm, the etherical. And when we get out of that, now we need another kind of suit, the physical one. It's like if you go to the very deep of the ocean, you need another suit, a special suit to protect your body from the low temperature of the ocean and also the pressure. Also, you need a tank to breathe, a mask to protect. So it's the same here. This is our avatar, but then you need your avatar to turn it into a lighter matter, change the frequency of the density in order to enter again and return here in the Tamao Chan. We call Tamao Chan the place that we descend, because we have to descend again to this realm. And also we have in our cosmology and also in Egypt the same concept, the hidden one and the visible one. Amun Ra, Amun Ra. And in the Toltek tradition, we have the same concept. In Tezcatlipoca is the hidden one, and Quetzalcoatl is the visible. This is the thing that we can perceive in this tonality, the electromagnetic spectrum of the light that we can decodify, and Tezcatlipoca is the thing that we cannot see, we cannot perceive, the totality, the same concept. And we are talking about the original black sun, because there is another black sun here that is fake, is more or less internal of Polaris, is the vortex, is the one eye of the Illuminati shield that everything sees from above. Is kind of vortex, because now we have artificial coils of energy extraction vortices, and the moon and the sun are artificial. The moon are collecting our energy, and then the moon is like a succubus, is sucking the energy from the earth and then sending to that orb that we call the fake black sun. And that fake black sun is distributing the energy to the system of the stars. And then the sun is recycling our energy to the earth. That's why we feel a feel of relief and also the feel of warmness when we take the sun, because it's our energy, but it's now degraded energy. It's incomplete energy. And also the sun is like a microwave. And what a microwave does, extract the water, dehydrate the things inside of it. It's not that possible. It's not that positive, the sun. Of course, it's inevitable to be exposed, but please, I recommend you don't take the sun like a lizard laid on a beach and, oh, I want to get tan. No, because it's going to dehydrate your skin. It's going to produce aging in your skin. So that's why we have to know how the system works. And also there is a song that I love it from Police that is called Invisible Sun. It has to be an invisible sun. and gives his heat to everyone. Has to be an invisible sun. Gives his hope when the whole day is gone. Because there is a black sun. Another songs like a Soundgarden's, like the black holes. I don't remember the lyrics, but they say black hole song because the famous people knew a lot of things that we don't know because they're part of the system. And this is where we have to return to the essence again. Hyperborea, Shambhala. Every culture name it different, but Hyperborea means beyond the aurora borealis. Hyper is beyond borealis, and also Boreas means demiurge, so beyond the influence of the demiurge of the matrix. We found this energy extraction matrix system, sublayer, this video game. That we have the white sun is the conscious mind, and the black sun representing the subconscious mind also. And this is how the movement of the sun is circulating above us in a shape of a pyramid, in a spiral wave, passing from tropic to tropic. And that's why, look at this. This is the path of the sun. And there's the pyramid is representing that. Look at this, the same. It's a pyramid. Now, so it's the ripple effect. This is the Mexican pyramids, circulars. They are telling us the path of the sun, how it's moving, revolving above us. And also the sun, along 1 year, is creating the analemma, like an 8. But the number 8, the shape of the 8, the higher part is narrow. It's more narrow than the lower part, because as you can tell here, when the sun is spinning on the Tropic of Cancer, the circumference is smaller, and then pass to the Ecuador, and then to the Tropic of Capricorn is wider, is bigger. So the sun is accelerating and decelerating, depends where it's located. Because I told you, we have here a magnet in the center. So the magnet is going, if the sun is closer to the magnet, it's going to be slower. That's why the day lasts the same 24 hours, because the sun is moving faster or slower, depends the location, in order to last the same 24 hours. And it's moving from tropic to tropic, and that we call seasons. And the pyramids can register that movement. Actually, here in Kukulkan, in Chichen Itza, this is the pyramid of Kukulkan, the feather serpent. Every equinox, we can see this game of light. The equinox, the sun is going to reflect light and make the effect that is descending the snake. And also, these pyramids are used like a speaker, this machine, resonance machines. They were built on vortexes also. They're amplifiers of the sound of the frequency that create energy. And this is the movement of the sun that our ancestors registered, the summer solstice, then the equinox, and the winter solstice. So they knew that the sun is moving, not the earth. And also we say in the every day we were speaking with other people, we say, oh, the sun is moving like this, like that. We never say, oh, the earth is moving, because our senses are not lying us. But we don't trust in our senses anymore because the program. But we are perceiving other things. And also we don't perceive and we can feel the movement of the earth. We can feel the stillness. But we still continue saying, oh, the earth is moving, because we were indoctrinated to believe that. At the school, and also with the fucking movies, Star Wars, Star Trek, and other more of the space, wow, moving planets, wow, galaxies, blah, 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 stupid things. But the things that we are perceiving, feeling, observing is quite different. And look at this. This is very crazy. And this is another proof that the earth is still and the sun is moving and is quite smaller than we thought. And also the moon and the sun have the same size. And from the winter solstice, this is the Popocatépetl volcano in Mexico City, well, next to Mexico City. I think Popocatépetl is the biggest volcano in America. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's very close to that. And we have two volcanoes, the Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. And this Popocatépetl represent the masculine, and Iztaccíhuatl the feminine. Look at this. If we see the Popocatépetl, the Iztaccíhuatl means the white woman, because look at this. This is a woman laying down. This is the hair, the hand, breast, arms, and the legs, feet. But this is very curious, because every winter solstice, the sun emerges from the Popocatépetl, from the masculine energy. It's like the Popol is giving the sperm, it's emerging the sperm, and then 3 months later is running through the earth until get to the spring equinox. And when the spring equinox occurs, the 21st of March, the sun emerged from the womb of the volcano of the feminine energy. Amazing, no? It's curious, but It really happens. I have seen this with my own eyes. So this is just possible in a stationary flat Earth. And that's why it's happening. The sun is moving from tropic to tropic in spirals. So in the summer solstice, the sun gets to the highest point on this pyramid, on this spiral. And when it's in Capricorn, it's in the lowest, and it's faster, the movement. And then moving again. And the tonal mashotol is explaining this movement also. Look at this, the sun is smaller and is local. We can prove it. Like this. It's local, and when the sun is above of something, it's not going to reflect shadow. But otherwise, it's going to reflect shadow. It's not, you can explain this with a flat Earth, not just with a spherical. Taking in account that it's a local and smaller sun, as we can see above us. Observe again, see with your own eyes. Another picture, this is a real picture from this balloon with this camera. And this is a distance like this balloon got to a distance of, I think, 45 kilometers, I think so. And look at this, the sun, local sun, and this spotlight. So this is a real size of the sun, and it's not quite far. And also look and observe something curious here. There is no stars. So this is telling us that stars are locally positioned, and beyond 40 kilometers, more or less, there is no more stars. So the stars are in a lower position, and they are smaller than we thought. And I told you here is representing, explaining the cycles. Here is the solstice, the equinox. Equinox comes from the word equilibrium, because when the equinox happens, the day and night last the same. But in the solstice, it's different. Depends where you are. In the winter solstice, nights are longer, and in the summer solstice, days are longer, because that movement of the sun. So this is the summer solstice. So here is equinox, the summer equinox, March 21st, and then moves here in the middle of the spring, and the sun is rising more. 21st of July, then moves again in the constellation of Leo here. This is in the constellation of Gemini. This is the very high point of the summer, the hottest season, the hottest time. And then it's descending, moving, it's falling. That's what we call fall, autumn here. 23rd of September is the equinox of fall, autumn, because the sun is falling. And then again, and winter solstice, 21st of December. That's the movement of the sun in the flat Earth. Here we can find the stars, the cycles, and all the movement of the celestial chest, and the ripple effect, of course. And the Tamao Chan means the place where we descend. It's the place that we come from. This is the paradise of the Toltek tradition. And this is Iztapapalot, the white butterfly. Or Iztlapapalot, that means also the obsidian butterfly. But the peculiar thing here, the highlight of this is this. The earrings is a black sun, telling us that the black sun is down below, down under, underneath the surface, beyond, not the intraterrenal space, beyond that is another realm of different frequency. And what is a papalot? What is a butterfly? Because you have to become a butterfly. I told you, butterfly represents metamorphosis, transformation. You have to take your body in different frequency, in a subtle energy, in order to pass again to the Tamao Chan, the place of we are going to rest. And the myth says that from Tamao Chan emerged a big tree, a giant tree, super giant tree, the tree of life that connects everything in this planet before the hijack of this planet, that connects everything, the mother earth, the mother tree. And also there were more giant trees, but this is what huge. And this is the myth that the creation of human from that tree in Tamao Chan. Look at this. And also they call Tlalocan, the place that we fertilize ourselves, like the paradise. There is full of birds and butterflies, people from another kind of frequency. When you get out of there to the physical realm, you need another avatar to use. So actually, the movie Avatar is the history of the planet, is an excellent negative primacy. What is a negative primacy? It's a kind of technique that the system uses in order to first of all hide the truth in plain sight. But negative primacy is put the truth among situations of comedy, drama, suspense, whatever, in a movie or in a book or something, in a play. Because your implicit memory is going to recognize that. But the point here is negative because as soon as something is going to talk about that topic, your implicit memory is going to react in the cognitive dissonance, and it's going to reject that information because it's going to say, no, that's not true because I saw that in a movie. So that's the point of that. So when you start to see beyond the real thing, you're going to turn negative into positive. So that's how we have to start to see movies in the positive primacy, because they are telling us the truth. They can't lie. They know that they can lie. So look at this. In this codex, this is the history of that tree that was broken and cut it down for these entities. They broke the connection. They created a communication breakdown. And this is the Avatar movie. Told you the same. Why they want to attack? To eliminate the mother tree, because the mother tree is that gives connection to everything. Actually, tree means branching, connecting. And this is a theory, but I think it's very accurate. But that the ley lines are the energetic points that the Earth has around the planet. I think those ley lines are the remaining roots of that mother tree that used to spread the energy along the planet before it was cut down. And that's what happened. They cut down the tree and also the other silicon trees made of silicon. And look at this. This is the remains of those trees. Silicon-based tree stumps. And it's very clear. We are living in a cemetery of the real Earth. Look at these mountains that we think that they are mountains, but no, the remains of those trees. They cut off the communication of the planet in order to change it and turn it into this hive mind, collective mind with this artificial intelligence. And they turned the Earth into this with the dome, and they replaced the tree with the artificial coil inside that controls everything. The other coils, sun and moon, and the astral realm, that is the stars. And with electricity, ionization of the planet, they control this plane. Electricity is the parasite. And they brought the parasites. They brought the fungus realm that also is parasite. That's why our ancestors, after that, they react fast and they built the pyramids around the planet to maintain and keep alive the human consciousness. But after the last reset, they turn off that system of technology again. And also the Tesla towers was the same concept, because the scalar energy can kill parasites, fungus, and they can heal everything and put us in a resonant state. And also the last Tartarian culture, they used this technology and they built those cathedrals and synagogues that they now use for a cult, for worship. But they weren't built for that. They were houses to collect energy, the ether, in order to convert that energy into free energy, electricity, sonic sounds. They were the real restaurants because restaurants is restorative. But now the modern restaurants are not restorative. Actually, the restaurants are killing us because the food are killing us. We don't need to eat because we have the scalar energy inside of us. Because all the technology was copied from our body. Even this modified body of carbon and water, because our body, real body avatar used to be giant and also made of silicon. And we didn't have digestion system, we didn't have nervous system, we didn't have hormonal system, we didn't have any kind of glandulatory system, we didn't have chakras. So they modified and introduced those systems in order to make us more dense, to anchor us to the density by fornicating and eating. And also they divide because we used to be androgynous, and they divide into sexes because they wanted to grow and expand the livestock. So they need to divide into sexes to reproduce more bodies to attract more souls and trap them. So that's why when we produce more humans, we call that product fetus. In Latin, fetus. And fetus sounds like feed us, give us more food. So that's why they want to reproduce. But in these modern times, it's the contrary, because we are now too many for them, because we are not too many, that's another lie. But for the system, it is because there are a lot of walking deads now, soulless beings, non-character players that are stealing energy. So they need to eliminate those. They have their human resources and they're controlling the livestock here. So this is the modern Earth. So we can't escape physically anymore. And look at this, the ionization of the Earth and the battery. They turn into a super battery. That also the name of Batman. Human batteries with mind. In this energy extraction matrix layer with an artificial coil that is feeding the stars and all the system. This is the Mayan codex representing the same, the artificial coil, archons controlling the plane, controlling the flat earth. This is the Norse mythology. They telling us about the tree again. Look at this. The same myth around the planet. So the point here, to finish this, is return to the center. And this is very important because this is the part of the blueprints of this matrix. They left in this codex the information that we need. The warrior is representing the human with the rays of blood, because blood represents plasma and is the water of life also. You have to be prepared with your weapons, with arrows, to fight against you, against the parasite, against the mind, in order to can fight outside with the system, but doing nothing but your own transformation. Transform yourself, purifying your blood, purifying your system, detoxifying your system, deworming, killing parasite, fungus, cleansing your body, fasting, stop eating animals, dead, junk food, stop fornicating, stop drug yourself with alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, medicines. Of course, I'm talking about the drugs, the pills, not plants. And also, yeah, stop to drink ayahuasca and eat peyote. And no, don't look outside the things that you have inside. Stop to be responsible. Be in the center in order to defeat and grow your own tree of life from your heart. Look at this. This is very beautiful. Like, this is your spine. And look at this. This is the parasite infiltrating in your spine. Because in your spine, in our spine, that's the place that our body creates our plasma. It's the synthesizer, equalizer of our body. And here is the parasite infiltrating. And here you have to be like an eagle to see that on time and kill it with the force and strength of an eagle, becoming an eagle, sovereign, free, powerful, flying high. And this eagle has in the center the symbol of Kali, house. In the house represents your body. And also you have three, the Trinity Ometeot, the synthesis of energy to achieve and accomplish your inner alchemy to kill those parasites, purifying your blood. And recognizing the trap of delusion that we're living in. So this is the blueprints of the illusion, where the prism that the system uses to project the hologram. And prism is an allegory and another way to say prison. We're living in this prison. Nanogram. So I'm going to show you this video proving that. Look at this. How to create your own hologram from your phone. Here we can see that is projecting in a bidimensional plane into a 3D prism that reflects the light, separates light in 7 colors, separation, September 7. And look at this, the shape. How to create that prism, the multi-cross, and the codecs that I just shown you before. So this is the mold, the pattern. And voila, we have the prism. And that prism is the pyramid of Kukulkan, and also all kind of pyramid. It's a speaker. That is going to amplify the sound. And after that, wow, 3D reality. Welcome to our reality. And our ancestors, they really knew it very well. And remember, the exit is in the center, here. The X mark the center. The get out from this illusion, from this existence, from this malefic, this hexagon, this cube, this cross, because a cross is an unfold cube. That's why Christ is in the cross, because it's representing humanity stick on the cube, the illusion, the hexagon, the carbon, the density, the duality. So this is Tlaloc. Tlaloc is representing the water, rain. The rain purified your system and is going to fertilize your energy again. Fertilize yourself. You have to fertilize and create yourself. You are creating yourself, and autophagy, self-eating, when you're fasting, is part of that. Your cells are going to regenerate themselves and create themselves. And go back to your heart. Here. Becoming a butterfly. In order to ascend, we have to return to this in the silicon beautiful bodies, in another frequency, the Nawali ripple effect of the spiritual antimaterial wave. And this is the path of the warrior. Become in a better version of ourselves. Turn ourselves into this. Most of the humanity, we are here suffering and living as a victim. And then the warrior decides to change that and goes to the cocoon. That means that you have to go to the interior, to the darkness. Every seed needs darkness and silence. Eliminate noise, entropy outside of you. And then reborn, metamorphosis in a beautiful papalot, in a beautiful butterfly that is lighter, can fly, is free, and using the power to conquer this projection. And now you play with the matrix, no matrix play with you. And healing leads to coherence. Again, turn this into this. This is the carbon, barbaric, parasiting life that we are living. And step by step, turn into this again, to our heart, purifying your avatar. And knowing where you are very well. Remember, knowledge is power. Don't be like that rat that is lost inside of that labyrinth, just turning in circles and going to nowhere. And the point of this is freedom. Freedom. Escape from the dome. Following the compass, because you have to compass. The compass is marking the exit, the center, the north, the original north. Escaping from the influence of the electricity, from the light, from the tonal, from the illusion, from the materialism. Be your own alchemist, turning lead into gold. Aura. This is the chemical symbol of gold. AU. That is aura, or or oro in Spanish, we say oro, aura, or luz, light, or the inner light, not the outside light. And now I invite you to come and pass and be part of that change. But for that, you have to be aware of everything, take consciousness that we have been deceived. And also, we have been indoctrinated to believe a bunch of lies, especially the place that we're living. Because when we believe in the spherical earth and the fantasy of the space and that bullshit, they are make us believe like nothing. They are stealing our spirituality, our connection, because they are make us believe that, oh, we are lost in the middle of the vast space. You are a little dot. You are worthless. You are a result of an explosion on a random action of the mystery of the universe, and you come from a monkey. So basically, you came here only to work and be a slave because we want your energy. You know, we worth, but you have to be worthy, earning your respect and your place out of here, out of the matrix with your own work. So the first thing that we have to do is be aware, take consciousness, empower yourself, encourage. Because if we learn how to play in this matrix, the instructions, so we have 5 things to consider. Everything is sound. That sound is going to express in frequencies. So if you know the frequencies of everything is the key. And then that expressed in magnetism, and that magnetism expressed in electricity, and finally in energy. So sound, frequencies, magnetism, electricity, and energy, 5 things. If you know about this very well, you're going to be the owner of your projection. You're going to create your own reality here. You're going to have fun here. You're going to become in that wizard, in that magician that is going to help the collective humans with soul, preaching with your actions, with your example, and being part of that how do you say this in English? This the critic mass. So send your love, the right frequency from your heart, and remember that don't take so seriously the things of matrix. You are not here for working, for being a slave. We are here for a superior purpose. And you have to end this video game once and for all. So enjoy the ride, but with consciousness. Be gentle with others. and also be strict with the things that we have to change. And we have to get rid of toxic people, toxic relationships. Now take the command of your life. And that's the awakening of the flat earth is very important. And I just prove you how our ancestors knew very well where we really are. Ometeo.